Hi, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank everybody that sent in questions. I love questions if I could answer them. First off, we'll talk about milk. Now, every carrier has a different liking of milk, so it's not going to be what everybody else likes. I myself use Wambaroo. I've used it for, I think, 8 years now. I've always been happy with it. The babies never have a problem with it. So that's what I like. That doesn't mean that's the best. Everybody has their what works for them. So if it's goat's milk, great. If it's Biolac, fantastic. Whatever works for you and gives you strong babies, that's what you use. Somebody asked about their ears being flat to their head. Now, when they're born, they come out with their eyes open, their ears are maybe a little bit of a curl, but basically their ears are up. But when they're premature, their ears are to their head and their eyes are closed. So that is not normally how they come out. They come out basically like this. And don't you love how he holds his pacifier? It's gonna fall. That's what he does. It drops 59 million times. Someone asked about if the bats are from Australia. Black flying foxes can also be in Papua New Guinea and also in Indonesia, where gray flying foxes and oh, I know all those noisy birds out there. All those noisy birds out there. And the Speckies are up in North Queensland. So, and they're on the threatened species list. So are the grey flying foxes. So, very important to try to get the word out to people to protect them and not hurt them. Someone asked if bats have twins. They usually only have one pup, but they do have twins. If you're not familiar and you're not from Australia, you don't know what that sound is. Those are ibises fighting. So, because I live right beside a duck pond and I get the ibises, I have a crow visiting me. I also we get storks, we get black swans. So it can be quite beautiful seeing all the different birds. And also, he is used to, or has to get used to, because that's what the world is. Those are the noises that he's going to hear every single day of his life. Not, a TV, not a radio. These are the noises. This is what the outside sounds like. So for him who does need to get his sun, because flying foxes, especially when they're growing, always have to have about 15-20 minutes of sun per day. So we bring them outside and let them have some sun. So they get strong bones. They get their vitamin D, just like humans. So bats that are in caves and that don't go out during the day, but because flying foxes live in a colony in trees, they are outside in the sun, so they are used to the sun, which is kind of funny because when people first started seeing flying foxes, they go, oh, they're outside in the day, that's so terrible. No, it's not. That's where they live, out in the sun. So mind you, when we do get the heat stress, when it gets too hot, especially it really seems to affect the black flying foxes, then yeah, that's a little bit too hot for them. But otherwise than that, they're pretty good. If they do get cold, if it gets to a certain degree, that's bad too. I've seen bats where they lose their membrane off their wings, which is just terrible. So there's all like different things like that affect the poor flying foxes, besides all the other things like the barbed wire, the netting, and all the other things that humans put out there. So with the weather and humans, they really need people caring for them. So that's why, thank goodness, there's carers out there all over that want to help, and there's all you guys that help us, because years ago they weren't getting the support that they get now, the groups. And the more help we get, the more help we could, expand and help the babies. So, and the adults. So it's kind of like everybody working together, and it doesn't matter if you live here or somewhere else. If you're helping them, it doesn't matter where you live. So there's tons of questions you guys had about shots and stuff. I don't want to make this one too long, so I'll cut this one short. I'll start another one on shots and touching bats and stuff like that. Okay, bye.